Are you
Yes.
in Delhi? Have you joined from Delhi itself?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Where do you live in Delhi?
Sir, I live in East Delhi, Shadra.
Okay, the chairman sir is here now to put questions to you, sir.
Good afternoon, with
Varun.
Varun Bansal.
Yes. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. You are right now in Delhi, Varun?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So tell us a little bit more about yourself, as much as you consider relevant about you, your background, your education, your family, and your career goals.
So my name is Varun Bansal. I was born and raised in Delhi. I did my entire schooling from Delhi. I did my graduation in computer science and engineering from Jamia Millia Islamia. Uh, After that, I worked for around 20 months as a software developer in Pune. I quit my job in 2019, and since then, I've been preparing full time for civil services. My father is a retired bank manager from Punjab and Sindh Bank, and my mother is a Hindi teacher in a government school. So my career goal as of now is to become a civil servant and contribute towards nation building.
And suppose, God forbid, you are not able to join the civil services, then what else?
So as a backup plan, I would consider going back to the private sector, pursuing an MBA degree, and then working in the financial sector. Sir.
I see. So, uh, what kind of role in the financial sector you feel you can play?
Sir, a financial analyst or a financial consultant, uh, the the analyst companies such as McKinsey, EY, and also work in banks such as Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan.
Mhm.
Yes.
Tell me about the current scenario in Indian economic scene when there are a number of new unicorns which are coming up, and IPOs are also coming up and getting oversubscribed. First of all, tell me what is a unicorn?
So a unicorn is a startup with a valuation of over $1 billion.
How many startups exist in the country at the moment? Any idea?
So I'm not aware of the actual number, but India is currently the third largest startup system in the world.
Any idea roughly 30, 40, 50, 60,000, how much you feel could be?
So I wouldn't be able to say.
How many unicorns in India have sprung up during 2021?
So in this year, around a dozen unicorns have been there. Uh, such
Number
as
is number is 17. You have to be up to date.
yes, sir.
17th just came day before yesterday.
Okay, sir.
Anyways, uh, what has been the first IPO by a unicorn?
Sir, I'm not aware. I would have to read up on it, sir.
The first unicorn has been Zomato. You have not read it?
Yes, sir. Okay. This year, sir, yes, it has been, sir. I thought overall.
Not this year. First unicorn by any IPO.
Okay, sir.
Do you read newspapers?
Yes, sir.
Which newspaper do you read?
Sir, I go through the Indian Express and Times of India, sir.
You read both.
Okay, sir.
You haven't seen this thing. All right. What are your areas of interest?
Sir, I have interest in the computer science field.
No, in the newspapers, in the current affairs, contemporary affairs.
Sir, I like reading about technology and developments in the latest technologies. In addition to that, I also pay attention to the sports page. Apart from these two, what is happening in an economy and what the government policies are, is I also find that of quite a lot of interest. Sir.
what are the latest technological trends which right now are becoming visible in the country?
So use of artificial intelligence in sectors such as healthcare, agriculture is becoming quite prominent. Even the usage.
How can artificial intelligence in the field of agriculture be useful and increase production or productivity?
So we have the system of soil health cards.
Sorry?
So in agriculture, we have the scheme of soil health cards, which seek to provide farmers information about the soil, the nutrients that would be most effective. So using that data, we can build a database. And on top of that, apply artificial intelligence algorithms from the diverse agroclimatic zones that we have. So it will allow us to provide us even more pointed, specific data to the farmers about what the actual conditions of the soil are, what nutrients the soil is deficient in, what kind of fertilizers the soil needs. So, sir, in that way, agriculture could be benefited by.
Can you name any startup in India which is based on the use of artificial intelligence in agriculture?
Sir, I've read a few startups, but I'm unable to recall their names as of now, sir.
Anything in the healthcare where use of artificial intelligence has taken place?
Yes, sir. There are a couple of Indian startups such as Arogya AI, Onward Assist AI. These are using artificial intelligence to come up with better diagnostics, early detection of diseases such as cancer and Alzheimer disease. And they have already signed contracts with a couple of private sector chains in the country, sir.
You mentioned about the governance also in your earlier comments. So how can artificial intelligence or other areas of technology be useful in governance?
Sir, in the field of law and order, artificial intelligence could be used to predict future incidents, volatile times of the year, using previous data of riots, crimes, analyzing the communities from such data is coming, the places where such volatile events are happening. This could act as a sort of an digital advisor to the law and order authorities. In addition to this, in the field of healthcare, it could provide better diagnostics to the people.
Tell me about the governance, since you mentioned about governance also. In the governance area, how can artificial intelligence be used to improve the delivery of services to the people? Has it been done, and has it improved matters?
So, in the aspect of delivery of services, if we have a proper database and building artificial intelligence algorithms on top of that, so it could provide us data as to what areas of the district or the state are lacking in the civic amenities, where most of the fund is going.
All right. Finally, you mentioned something about sports. You know that right now Tokyo Olympics are going on. India is also participating. Has India won any medal so far?
Yes, sir. Just this morning only, sir, Mirabai Chanu won a silver in women's weightlifting in the 49 kgs category, sir.
Anything in table tennis?
Sir, in table tennis, 2 matches have been played so far. Manika Batra from Delhi, she won her match. And so currently, Sutiltha Mukherjee is also currently playing, and her match is ongoing, sir. She was in the final set just before this interview began, sir.
All right. Thank you very much. Over to you, Neeraj ji.
Thank you, sir. Varun,
Yes, sir.
you have written football as one of your interests.
Yes, sir.
Tell me, why hasn't football become popular in India, or shall we say as popular as cricket?
So first reason I would say is the lack of role models.
Lack of, sorry?
So the lack of role models in the game of football in our country. There are not just enough role models to inspire young children and their parents to put their trust in the game of football as a viable financial and a career choice. In addition to this, financing in the game of football has also been lacking for quite a lot of time now. Also, sir, at the grassroots level, proper training camps, trials are not being held regularly. Also, there's a lot of mismanagement involved in such trials. For example, from my personal experience, I've also seen in the under 17 trials, players of age 23, 24 participate. So these are the reasons which I would say are the hampering the growth of football in our country. Sir.
But now we have many role models in Indian football. And you don't need to have role models only in domestic sport. You can have role models globally also.
Yes, sir, we have people like Sunil Chhetri, Dheeraj Singh, Sandhu, who are very good players, sir. And also we have platforms like the Indian Super League, which is to be merged with the I-League from the 2024-2025 season. So that will help a lot. But sir, there's a famous saying when it comes to football in India that Indians love football, but they don't love Indian football. So while there are a lot of international role models, but for development at the grassroots level, we need, sir, Indian players to do well, sir.
Okay. What more can be done to develop the sport of football in India?
So in India, the ISL season, sir, it only lasts for about 5 to 6 months. For the rest of the time of the year, sir, the football players, they don't have any source of income. So, sir, providing viable incomes in that off-season period, that is to be done. This problem will be taken care of in the 2024 season when we will have a proper streamlined football structure where ISL would work as the first year and I-League would work as a second year. So then we would have a system lasting for 8 to 9 months. In addition to this, sir, international exposure is also required. Sending players to camps in Europe, South America, understanding different styles of play, also involving foreign coaches at the grassroots level, sir, and not just at the national level.
Tell me, you have worked in the area of software development. Internationally, most of the software companies rely on Indian talent. And we see Indians heading most of the top-notch, IT firms. Why is it that within India, IT and software development has not taken off as much as it should have?
So India does have a lot of raw talent, but for some proper product development in the software industry, we need financing for such entrepreneurs. We need to encourage risk taking and also not being afraid of failing in an enterprise. Yes. And so mostly our industry is service based, for product based, for coming up with new innovations. So people tend to go outside where a lot of research is being done in the latest technologies. But sir, with the startup boom that is happening, so a lot of unicorns, as sir rightly said earlier, they are coming up. So the scenario is changing. We are having centers such as Bangalore, Pune, Gurgaon, where a lot of entrepreneurship is taking place in the product categories. So I think, sir, with proper support, financing, credit availability, and the ability to encourage risk taking, our software industry too would prosper, sir.
I feel that, say, Infosys, Wipro, TCS, they have done some pioneering work in software development, which can match with the best in the world. But yet we are lagging behind the rest of the world, or shall we say the leading software developing countries of the world. So how does one bridge that gap?
So firstly, at the graduate level in the field of computer science, what is being taught needs to be specific to the needs of the market. Most recent languages, coding languages, latest technologies need to be taught with a practical, providing a practical exposure to the students. So such that as soon as they are in the final year, they are ready to step into the market. In addition to this, financing to credit facility to startup founders should be provided for bridging that value of debt funding from the incubation period to the period where the startup finally takes off and starts making money. So these two are the reasons, sir. I would say these two are the steps that we can take to bridge the gap, sir.
Do you mean to say that presently the credit facilities are not available?
Sir, in the IT sector, sir, I'm not sure a lot of credit facilities are available, sir.
Okay. How would you bring your knowledge of software to bear on your job as a civil servant?
So firstly, to bring in more transparency and accountability, I would ensure that the website of my department is totally up and running. Monthly reports are updated every month in a time-bound manner. Also creating a portal on the website for the citizens to engage in, put in their grievances. Secondly, sir, I would look for areas where the newest technologies can be applied. For example, drone mapping, drone surveillance and surveying the agricultural fields for better zoning. Similarly, in urban development, also, sir, using technologies such as IoT in digitalizing the water supply, getting accurate measurements, proper data.
Okay. Do you follow international relations also?
Yes, sir.
So tell us something about the current situation in Afghanistan.
So after the recent America withdrawal, so Taliban has been running amok the country. As per some reports, it has taken over 1/3 of the country, with 90% of the borders under Taliban controls. Regional governments such as in Iran, Central Asia, China, and even Russia are in talks with Taliban so as to ensure a proper democratic government setup in Afghanistan, proper power sharing. India is also, as per some media reports, in having informal talks with representatives from Taliban, sir.
Who are the Taliban?
So Taliban is basically a militia tribal society. They were propped up in the decade of 80s by the American regime against the Soviet invasion. They also controlled Taliban from 1996 up to 2001. But after the US invaded Afghanistan because Taliban was sheltering Osama bin Laden.
No, I understand, but what does Taliban mean?
Sir, I'm not aware of the meaning of the word Taliban.
See, to the best of my understanding, the people who were backed by the Americans after the USSR invasion of Afghanistan were the Mujahideens. At that time, there was no Taliban. Taliban is a far more subsequent development. So you must be clear on who the Taliban are and why is it that some people, some countries are recognizing them already and they are holding talks with them. They are one of the stakeholders in all international talks on Afghanistan, including India having back channels open to them. So they are not the Mujahideen that you are referring to. They are the Taliban and they are a far more recent entity. So please read about Taliban.
I will, sir.
Okay. Rajiv ji.
Thank you, sir. Hello, Varun. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Varun, can you recollect when was the farmers' agitation and where was it discussed in a foreign parliament?
Sir, I believe in the British Parliament last year, the issue of farmer agitation was taken up by the Labour Party, sir.
And what was India's reaction to it?
Sir, India reacted towards it in a very strong manner. India clearly clarified that it is an internal matter of India, and the government is taking all democratic steps to engage in talks with the farmers, and external parties should not interfere with India's internal matters.
Well, what is the manner in which a country or rather India protests? What is that form of communication, name of the form of communication through which a protest like this is lodged with a foreign mission?
Sir, I beg your pardon, sir. I'm not able to.
What is the form of communication through which India protests or lodges its protest with a foreign mission? What is the name of that communication?
Sir, I don't know the name, but it is done through official diplomatic channels, sir. A formal
Yeah, okay, that's good enough. In rock, you are fond of rock. What was the first English rock band? What was their name? I mean, that is rock is home to UK.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so what was the name of that band that was formed there?
So, Beatles were the pioneers of rock music in Britain.
Yeah, please, sorry,
After Beatles, bands such as Rolling Stones, Led Zeppelin also came forward, sir.
But the name of the first English rock band was Bauhaus, Bauhaus.
Okay.
That was the name. Just to add to your, now you must be knowing a lot about it, but just to add, in case something crops up, you are equipped to. Okay, now what are the subgenres of rock?
So there is hard rock, there is alternative rock, there is grunge rock, punk rock, metal is also there, sir, as a subgenre of rock.
Very good, very good. In your DAF, I read OOPS. What is it supposed to mean? I couldn't get the full form of it.
So OOPS refers to Object-Oriented Programming System. It is a way of writing code.
Writing a code.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Tell me, why are banks, private banks, reluctant to move to rural areas? Their operations, I have not noticed that they are not very visible in rural areas. They have confined their activity to the urban areas. Why is it so?
So private banks are mainly driven by the profit motive. Setting up branches in rural areas, while it would incur a lot of cost, banks don't see a lot of returns, as there's not a lot of financial literacy in rural areas. Also, the range of financial products that a bank could provide in such rural areas is quite limited. Also, in a lot of areas, prevalence of informal lending channels is quite prevalent. So a private bank is generally hesitant to set up a branch in rural areas.
Okay, very good. In Delhi, on the Central Vista project, what was the issue that came up before the Supreme Court?
So the major issue was that at the height of the pandemic, construction work in Delhi involving a lot of workers was started. So this also could act as a sort of a super spreader, whereon from COVID could spread. In addition to this, the morality of the project was also questioned by the petitioners in the Supreme Court, sir.
Which other cities can you recollect in the world share Delhi's concern with not granting full statehood to a city government?
So we have Canberra in Australia, then Washington, DC in America is another example, sir.
What are the problems in granting full statehood to the Delhi GNCTD, for instance?
So granting full statehood, it would mean that the sovereign government, the federal government, would become a tenant to a state government. In addition to this, a capital belongs to the entire country, So making a capital under a state government, it won't feel right as a nation.
Okay.
Or-
Yeah, good enough. Good enough. Tell me, what is Britain? What is Britain's dilemma in Brexit?
Uh, Sir, I'm not as such aware of Britain's dilemma. So a couple of things that are coming to mind is firstly, the referendum was quite split. Uh, it wasn't unanimous. Labour Party has been protesting against Brexit. Secondly, sir, the issue of North Ireland, I think in United Kingdom, was also there where England wanted to move out of Europe, but countries such as Ireland, Northern Ireland, they didn't want to. Uh, Thirdly, I would say is that the trade negotiations and the movement of the people and the negotiations on that, they have been quite complicated and even aggressive with the other European countries, sir.
Varun, are you aware of the areas of responsibility and the various central armed police forces? Which are they, and where do they operate?
Sir, I'm able to recall 6 institutions under the CAPF. They are the SSB, the Sahesh Seema Bal, the CRPF, the BSF Border Security Force, and the Indo-Tibetan Police, Indo-Tibetan Police Force. So the Border Security Force guards the borders of India, Pakistan, and India, Bangladesh. Assam Rifles, they guard the border of Indo-Myanmar. In addition to these forces, border guarding forces, we have the CISF and the CPRF that I earlier mentioned.
Under which ministry is the Assam Rifles?
Sir, I believe they are under the administrative control of Home Affairs, but regarding all other aspects, they function under the Defense Ministry, sir.
Yes, very good. Now, under which ministry is the Enforcement Directorate?
Sir, it comes under the Ministry of Finance.
What are its key functions?
Sir, Enforcement Directorate works to ensure that the financial crimes in our country are reported and controlled. They seek to punish criminals indulging in such crimes, and they work to keep the financial system transparent and in line with domestic norms and international regulations.
We have been talking about doubling farmers' income. Do you think that under the prevailing agricultural practices, we can double their income, or they can double their income?
Sir, our initial target was to double farmers' income by 2022. So as of now, it doesn't look likely. The growth in agriculture sector hasn't been as per our expectations. Even last year, it grew only by 4%, where the expected growth should be around 10% to reach that level. But sir, we're diversifying sources of income for the farmers, promoting husbandry, horticulture, crop insurance. That target could be achieved in a couple of years' time, sir.
Swimming is your hobby. What are the rules regulating the installation of diving boards in swimming pools? Are there any restrictions? Specifically, I wanted to know this.
I'm not aware, sir. I'll have to read upon it, sir.
How much water is a Olympian swimming pool, standard Olympian swimming pool, supposed to contain?
So the size is 50 meters into 25 meters, but I'm not aware of the volume of water that is there.
Okay, then, man. You've given Danix as number 7, a very high priority in your service preferences. Why you have overlooked other Group A services and accorded such a high priority to Danix?
So firstly, I like to remain as much closer to my family as possible. And secondly, sir, I want to work in an administrative service.
Second could be better because the first one, Danix may take you as far as to Andaman or Lakshadweep as well. So rather, Haryana would have been from that point of view, Haryana would have been a better option. No?
Okay, sir.
So you marshal everything that you can in support of this on the second ground rather than the first. Remaining close to family in any cases for a civil servant, I don't think that's a very attractive way of. So okay, now on another question I wanted to know was you've been associated with banks. What are CSR activities, corporate social responsibilities of private sectors? How are they structured, and which is the rule governing the CSR?
So the corporate social responsibility are governed by provisions of the Companies Act 2013. Under this, private sector companies with a specific level of revenue turnover, 500 crores and 1,000 crores, they have to contribute up to 2% of their yearly revenues into activities that benefit the society around them. It could be environmental, education, healthcare.
Other part, the second part, which is the rule governing the CSR, which is the act in the government with the.
So it is the Companies Act 2013, which governs these provisions.
What was the original act? Which year? CSR Companies Act.
Sir, I'm not aware of the original CSR Companies Act.
But are you aware of the 2019 amendment?
Yes, sir. I've read about the amendment in that the criminal, the possibility of criminal case against corporates who weren't doing their share, that has been removed. Other features I'm not able to recall, sir.
2021 amendment?
I'm not able to recall, sir. I would have to read upon it.
Yeah, it is specifically on, I mean, a very important aspect of CSR is incorporated. So you might as well, it's something to do, I'll tell you, it's something to do with the COVID-19. So R&D activities under the CSR have been exempted. There's some exemptions and have been made for them. Okay. I think I'll have to put my last question to you, going by the time. What is the, in Delhi, are you aware of what is the Lutyens Bungalow Zone? Which area comprises of the Lutyens Bungalow Zone in Delhi?
Sir, it is the central part of the Delhi, falling under the New Delhi Municipal Corporation, where a lot of government offices, bungalow houses for the administrative staff, for the MPs are located, sir.
Okay, thank you, sir. Yes, sir. आपको वो करना होगा. Chairman साहब तो अभी शायद I don't think he's available. उनके यहाँ वो difficulty आज problem आ रहा है बिजली का शायद वो Wi-Fi problem आ रहा है.
It's okay.
Oh, no, sir is here.
I had switched off the video and audio to avoid echo. Normally there is a lot of echo otherwise.
You were missing yourself.
I was hearing your answers, Varun. Now we have completed our questions. Now you are welcome to ask us and then we'll give you the feedback. If you have any questions, you are welcome to ask.
Yes, sir. I think the content of my answers in the beginning, I didn't find them satisfactory, especially the role of.
No. It's not this. Just don't worry on that. The point, this is just a mock interview. You don't have to worry at all. I basically wanted to point out a few things. First of all, it is extremely important that you are up to date on the current happenings.
Yes.
If you are a candidate to join civil service, then you are supposed to be very aware of what's going on. You have to prepare a list of all possible questions arising out of your background. If you have given your background, technology, industry, investment related issues, or whatever else, sports, governance, whatever else, then on those areas, prepare a list of possible questions. Now, I asked you about the unicorn. The number you didn't know, it doesn't matter. Nobody would know. But it would be useful for you to keep yourself up to date.
Okay, sir.
The total number of startups is about 41,000 in the country, but it is growing very fast. If you are in the field of technology, you should know what are the trends. You should know about the funds flow, about the capital flows, about the IPO. The first IPO by a unicorn was by Zomato. And why I'm mentioning this? Because the newspapers during the last 2-3 days are full. The stock of Zomato was listed on the stock exchange yesterday, and 76 rupees worth of share was listed for 138. Now, these are the kind of things for a person like you to know. If you didn't know, it doesn't matter. If you don't know, you just say, sorry, I don't know. But if these are the areas emanating from your background, then it would not reflect very highly on your part. So therefore, what I wanted to suggest that prepare a list of all possible questions which can arise out of your background, and to the extent they are relevant in the current situation, the questions, you should be prepared. Your answers for the sports was very good. You knew exactly what is the current situation, who won the first medal in the sports, in the Olympics, absolutely correctly. You knew even the table tennis, and subsequently, as I was talking, there was a message in social media, even the badminton, there was, they won the first match and so on. It would be useful for you to be completely up to date. You understand what I'm trying to say?
Yes.
Which paper do you read?
Sir, Indian Express in the Times of India. Sir.
Right. So you can see from there whatever, when is your interview fixed?
Sir, it's on the 15th of September.
So you have plenty of time, just don't worry, you have enough time to prepare. Now this is a personality test, this is not a knowledge test.
Yes, sir.
Personality and aptitude, it would be, I mean, we would like to judge the interview panel from the promptness. Promptness means you can take a few seconds to collect your thoughts, doesn't matter. But correctness, to the point response which you give, there can be a slight smile on your face, just a slight faint smile. Otherwise, your personality is absolutely perfect. And from your subsequent question answers, which I was overhearing, although I had switched off my video and audio, but I was following all the question and answers. You were absolutely on dot. There was no problem, but others would tell you, my colleagues, Mr. Neeraj Kumar and Rajiv ji, where you fared well, where you lacked, and what you can do to improve upon. But you are just fine. You don't have to feel disheartened at all. It is only to point out where you need some improvement.
Okay.
You can undertake a few sessions in front of the mirror. You can keep a smartphone on to record your own questions, answers, and see how you feel like.
Yes.
Just a bit of smile on your face can work. Thank you. Mr. Neeraj Kumar.
Thank you, sir. Varun, I more or less ditto what the chairman sir I just said. You are self-assured, you are poised, you have a good personality, everything is fine. You just have to look a little more pleasant by, you look rather grim and glum. So if you can be a little more, yeah. Now, you're suddenly, by smiling, your face has lit up and you look relaxed. Your knowledge is phenomenal. You articulate your thoughts extremely well. You are well informed. Of course, there is always room for improvement as far as knowledge base is concerned, particularly of international incidents, and especially those which are still developing. So you need to keep updating your knowledge on all that is going on. And of course, by the time your interview comes, a lot of things would have happened. So keep track of them, and certain things the interview board would expect you to know, like what is Taliban, its evolution, and so somebody who has reached your level ought to know these things.
Okay, sir.
And otherwise, you are absolutely fine. There is nothing really lacking. The most important trait in your personality, which impressed me, was that you are very self-assured. You are very confident. So I wish you all the best, and I'm sure you'll do well. Rajiv ji?
Varun,
Yes, sir.
I have hardly anything left to say after my senior colleagues have assessed your performance. Just two or three small points, not by way of corrections, but rather by way of value addition to your uh, immense knowledge. Agricultural income, I would have expected you to also give some inputs about the agro industries, because in the core agricultural practices, there is hardly anything that is left to be. I mean, all nature dependent, water. So agro industries, perhaps you can add. That is one. Then on the Brexit dilemma, I would say that there are many of factors you can read about it, but one of them that I can suggest to you that you can incorporate in an answer is that Britain, they import 70% of their fish requirement is imported from the EU. So they don't know how to go about it, how to find a substitute for this. And they're okay. Now the third one on the form of communication, it is demerche, MERCHE, demerche. I don't know how you really, it's pronounced very differently by the French and by the Spanish and by the English, but that is the form of communication in which a country lodges, India lodges its protest over some serious issue through diplomatic channel. And this particular communication was given to the British High Commissioner. I think then it was Alex Ellis on 8th March when it was debated this year. You said last year, it was actually this year,
Yes.
8th March of this year. So it was, that is what my last point on the CSR. Original Companies Act was 1956, and 2013 it completely replaced the earlier act. It was not it's not called an amendment anymore. It has replaced the earlier act, and the important changes that were made was from two or more persons forming a company. 2019 permitted a single person to form a company as well. But the most important from CSR point of view was, of course, 2021, when all the R&D components in the COVID-19 context for vaccination were exempted from the purview of the. So otherwise, I was with your knowledge base and with your manner of speaking, I was impressed. Go a bit slow, I would suggest, so that each and every point is well, communicated to the board. Just with your immense knowledge, I think you are quite fast. You can practice a bit before the mirror. Just recite it a bit slowly, so that each and every word is, thank you. All the best to you,
Sir,
Varun.
should I speak a bit low in a slower speed, sir?
I think so, sir. If you agree, sir, this is
Yes.
what I've been saying. Sir.
Yeah, you can always speak a little slower, at a slower pace, and you'll be fine.
Yes.
Also, sir, I had one more question.
Yes.
Sir, what would be the range of marks, sir, based on my performance today, sir? Rough range of marks, sir.
I would put you around between 6.5 to 7. But you have the potential to go up to 8 with a little more preparation.
And sir, how do I reach that level, sir? Level 8, sir?
By increasing your knowledge base, by, see, at the end of the day, it is the knowledge base that would carry the day, right? So increase your knowledge base. More knowledge base will give you more confidence, more meat to your answers,
Okay, sir.
more depth. So that is what you need to do, and a bit be a little more relaxed. But I see in you a great potential. Please understand, you have all the makings of a very good and a very successful candidate at the interview. because you are poised, you have a good personality, you can articulate, you are expressive. All that you need to do is, add meat to your answers by increasing your knowledge base. There's enough time. Keep reading. You'll be fine. Okay.
Okay, sir.
All the best to you. God bless you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
All the best, Varun. Do well.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Okay. So should leave? Sir? Should I leave, sir?
Yes, yes, you
Okay.
can disconnect now.
Thank you, sir.